Welcome back, episode 21 with... No, we're not saying that anymore.
But... you can if you want.
All right, whatever. It was just in my mind.
Saying.
It was just in my mind because...
Said so confidently, I was surprised.
Yeah, no, it was just because the last one was 20 is the only reason I remember it.
Yeah.
But Markie will be in the next episode. Just wanted to say it.
Really?
Shout out to Markie.
See?
Because he's going to be in town next week.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So welcome. Or...
Oh, yeah, you said that, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess not welcome, but we'll be welcoming him soon.
Yes.
Now...
Right, if you're binging the episodes, it'll
be
20 minutes.
Markie will binge this probably on the plane. Yeah. He'll binge this. But right before we started this, you were talking about this book series, Mistborn.
Yeah.
That's not too relevant to what I was thinking, but...
I was just raving about it.
Yeah, raving about it. And actually, let me ask, before I say what I was thinking of, you said that you were reading a lot more and that you were really liking the books and liking them more than... watching TV and stuff, but also that you were doing it while high. Do you think that has any impact, or are you like, do you think that if you weren't doing it while high, you would still be thinking this, or
thinking that they're better?
Yeah, or just enjoying them as much as you have been and doing it as much as you have been.
Oh yeah, I mean like 99% of the time I'm not high.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good.
That was just like the one thing I did. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that'd be insane if I just specifically got high to read.
Yeah, I was just curious about that.
No.
But what it was making me wonder was you're both working on a book and saying that potentially you'll eventually work on a YouTube thing. Now, but maybe.
Yeah, sure.
But you have in the past at the very least. And which of those two activities is not more fun to consume, but is more fun to do?
Yeah.
To write or to speak to the camera?
Or almost like the reason I was saying the books are better than shows is because they almost leave more to your imagination, where it's like, it's easier to write a realistic book than like a realistic show.
Yeah.
Because a show you have to do so much to make it realistic. Yeah. But yeah, the YouTube is a little different because they're like, it's almost like you're almost like just showing something real. Because like if you make like a fiction book and then like a fiction YouTube series or something. Yeah. It's harder to make the YouTube series and like might be less fun because you're not making like as complete of a product. Yeah. But if you're making like just like a YouTube thing about your life or about your thoughts, it could almost be better because you are almost like more trustworthy and like you're conveying emotions and stuff better. More trustworthy than it would be if you did that in the form of a book? Yeah, because the book, you're not seeing the person's face and you don't get to know them as much. Yeah, that's true. So it might be more trustworthy if you did the video. Trustworthy is not the right word. But but which more like would genuine. Be more fun to make? Yeah. I think to me the book is more fun because it's... You just sort of like, I don't know. I think getting better at reading is maybe better at just like typing quickly and just like thinking as I type. So it is almost just like a stream of consciousness type of thing. Whereas I guess the video is a similar thing of like you just turn on the camera and talk. Yeah. But it feels easier to like pause in between writing sentences and like go back and change things if it wasn't quite right. Yeah. So. That's almost, to me, what makes it less fun, that I have the ability to do that and almost that it's necessary to go back and like do edits and stuff. Yeah, it's like higher pressure. Yeah, it's higher pressure, but it's also expected to be, like if I was writing something for a book, higher quality than just me talking off the cuff. And I like the low, not the low stakes, but the low demand for... like maximum quality in terms of what you could do with a video. If you're just making a video a day and talking about whatever, that sounds more fun because there's less pressure to it almost. Yeah. And it's just more of whatever I want to do, no matter the quality, I can do it. Yeah. I guess the question is that like is it really a good thing, or is it more just like covering up like almost like a lack of confidence? Yeah. Because the thing is, like, in theory, you can make a perfect YouTube video if you just like had a really good idea of what to say and then did it off the cuff. Yeah. It's like, it could still be really good. It's just, you're like letting yourself make it worse by using it as an excuse that you're not trying as hard. Yeah. Not that I wouldn't, not that I couldn't possibly try harder, but that there isn't a external expectation that I will be. Because with the book, it seems like with books, there probably should be a decent amount of effort, and if it is poorly written and has like grammar mistakes, then people would just almost write it off before even really giving it a chance. Right.
But with a video, you can do that, and it can still be a really good video.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's more so being able to do something that's not as confined to having to live up to certain expectations. Because that's what I don't like about the books necessarily. That there are other expectations of what's proper and good English and all of that.
Yeah, it's more focused on the words and less on like the message almost.
Yeah. Because books are a more archaic thing, and they're built on centuries of tradition. And the YouTube videos just popped up in the last 10 years, and anyone can make them. And
I think there's a little bit of an issue of it's almost like you want to be making something high quality, or it's like, sorry, that's the wrong way of saying it, but like it seems like a better thing to make something higher quality.
Yeah,
because then you've accomplished more, and you're like, you can look back on your video, your book that you've made, and say like, this was a good thing. Like I put all the effort I could into this and like made a good product. Because it's like the YouTube, it's almost like you're spending time and not really getting as much out of it. Like not as much out of the actual creation, and more just getting like the views and the subscribers and stuff.
Yeah. But in terms of the higher quality, it's not necessarily the case that just because everything isn't well refined and worked on and edited doesn't necessarily mean it's lower quality. Like a Joe Rogan podcast just happens in that moment, and like no time is spent refining it, and it's just those 3 hours, but those are still very high quality.
Yeah.
And so
weren't you arguing that you can make the YouTube lower quality?
More like lower quality in a traditional sense, in terms of not literally lower quality by what everyone just thinks of it when they see it, because people might still really like it, but lower quality in terms of what a book critic would say is bad grammar and like poor writing style, just kind of external institutions saying this isn't good for such and such reason.
Okay, because I think I'm thinking of quality as almost like an internal thing of like like the thing I was saying, looking back on it, it's like if I look back on my book and think it was bad, I can rewrite it a bit.
Yeah.
But if you look back to the YouTube video, it's almost easier to just make a bad YouTube video and be like, that wasn't great.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I think that I try to make them like stuff that I consider good for the most part. Sometimes there are like lacks of me thinking it's good, and not that I want to put them out there, but just I may as well. Like that's almost part of the beauty of it. Is that not everything is super well refined.
Yeah, the low pressure type of thing.
Yeah, the lower pressure. And just like, because even if it seems lower quality after I've recorded it, it was still enjoyable enough to record. Yeah, which is why I like it more, because regardless, I can have a good time recording it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I worry too much about the quality, then then it's less enjoyable for me personally.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I guess I'm figuring that the point of like doing like an artistic type of thing isn't really like, the point isn't to have a high quality product, it's to enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So it's almost a moot point of like, it's not better to do one thing or the other. It's just like the result you get is different.
Yeah. Because it's really tough to determine what higher quality really even is. Yeah. Because it's very subjective. It means different things to different people, and we definitely have different ideas on what high quality movies are.
Oh yeah. That's almost more just like, I think we realize that we just like movies that we enjoy.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like we have different ideas on like what a high quality movie is to us.
I say like we don't usually say quality, but we say good or bad. That's basically quality.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think with the YouTube videos, it's like, it's almost like, is it, like whether it's high quality to you or not, is almost just saying, do you think you did a good enough job to, like think it was a good thing to do? I guess because like obviously in the moment you can be enjoying it, but it's like, I guess the measure of if you want to keep doing it is if you look back and think like you were proud of it, I guess.
Yeah. So when you made those past YouTube videos, what did you think of them? Like, were you thinking they weren't high quality, or were they high, or what were you thinking of them?
Yeah, that was more the issue. They weren't that fun to make, I think. But I thought they were like...
Why were you making them that way if they weren't fun to make?
I thought that was just like the way to do it. Like I was thinking I wanted to do some sort of technology thing, and like... Like, I didn't see a great way to do it otherwise. Because if I just talked about, like, general science stuff, it would get too, like, I don't know, it'd be too hard to make like a 10-minute video about like
Yeah.
like neuroscience or something.
Yeah.
Especially if I don't understand it very well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was just a bad design for a YouTube channel.
It wasn't necessarily bad.
To the viewers, I was just doing like I would just find some like new scientific paper and do like a 10-minute description of like kind of like the basic science behind it. But
was it a copy of 2-Minute Papers?
Yeah, it's a similar idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
There's another guy who's like Anton Petrov or something, who does a way more similar thing.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Actually, I found I looked at his channel like somewhat recently, and I can't remember if I don't know if I searched something or like I just randomly stumbled upon he had done a video on the same paper that I had done.
Oh wow!
And
really?
Afterward, I think it was the thing about the planting, like putting plants in lunar soil.
Yeah,
he had done a video about that.
So do you think he just goes to the same Reddit pages that you
Probably.
were? Yeah, nice.
Yeah. He maybe like does a lot more research.
Yeah,
but
is his like a big YouTube channel?
It's pretty big, yeah.
Wow.
But it's literally every video is just him, like kind of like my videos were just like just his face green screened and then a bunch of stuff in the background of just like he would have more just like cool like space images or something.
Yeah,
but
do you think it's possible for there to be a way for you to make a YouTube channel where you're not like doing something that you don't want to do, but to just like to imagine, you know, something that you would enjoy doing or just talking about and just like record that and do it? Like, does that sound feasible?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
I need to find the right thing to do. I think part of like the reason it would seem easier than it might actually be is that like I feel like we have very easy conversations where we just like talk for way more than 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
But I think the issue is that like in a YouTube video, there's no like give and take. It's just like you talking to a camera.
Yeah.
So that's what I was talking about. We talked about this a bit in the past. I was saying I could do a sort of like live stream or something where I would like talk to somebody about their problems or like about their life experience or something.
Like someone in the chat.
Yeah, or like in like a voice chat or something. I don't know, but because I just feel like I wouldn't have too much to say on my own.
Yeah.
Without some like prompting.
I agree. I think that's why streamers are potentially tapping into something really good where they can just go on the internet and there's not a high pressure since it's a stream to be saying something constantly. So they can spend like 15 minutes or so just like looking into something that they might find interesting and commenting on it. And that could be a good way, like to just do a stream of whatever you would normally be doing on your computer where you're like learning about things and like just saying your thoughts out loud.
And thousands of people watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely like a thing.
Yeah.
It's the sort of thing of like once they get like a big enough audience, they can just do that.
Yeah.
But I think part of the issue with that is that they kind of just have the audience because of their personality, and because people get to know them and like almost start to respect them more because they have more viewers.
Yeah.
And it's almost a weird thing of like, it's like they earn the viewers, but they're not doing anything meaningful almost. Like they're just kind of being themselves.
Yeah.
Which is like a good thing. Like you want to be able to be yourself.
Yeah.
But they're not like accomplishing that much almost.
And because of that, there's not enough space for everyone to do it. Or like there's not enough,
partly. Partly that is like kind of like zero sum.
Yeah.
That like there's always like there's only a limited number of people who are going to care. But it's more just like it doesn't interest me as much because like with if I'm writing a book or something, I feel like I could be like helping people think better about things or like teaching them things. But like a streamer is like they could have a few interesting tidbits and stuff and like have it overall like they research interesting things or whatever.
Yeah.
But the main like purpose of it isn't the people don't go on there to learn, they go on there to like just hang out with their friend, the streamer type of thing.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people end up watching Joe Rogan just to kind of hang out with Joe Rogan during the podcast, but they do end up learning just because like if you were to then have some people come on and talk about things and you talk back with them, like that would lead to learning. And that's almost the best way to not have people just seeking out learning, but to just they're entertaining themselves and enjoying themselves, and then the learning is just passively flowing in.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the exact way that you hypnotize people with the news. Of like,
yeah.
You have the entertaining news, and every once in a while they're like, "Man, that Trump is horrible, man." And then you're just like, "I think maybe Trump is horrible."
Yeah.
But no, I get that. Like that's the best way to teach people.
Yeah. But
it's almost like I don't know. I feel like I was gonna say something before about the Joe Rogan. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems. I'm trying to think about what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Wait.
So if you don't want to influence people in that way by like having them come for entertainment and then learn.
I remember what it was.
Okay.
The idea that the primary purpose of it is like the entertainment.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I want the primary purpose to be the thing that I see as important.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's like the fast food where I was saying the primary purpose isn't to feed people, it's to convince them to keep coming back.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd rather eat food from somebody who wants to feed me than somebody who wants me to like never leave them and as a side product get some calories from it. You know?
Yeah, I see. And so the stream kind of just lures people in with the personality and convinces them to stay for hours on end.
With like the ulterior motive of teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of similar to the fast food, I guess, where you get lured in thinking that you're going to be fed, like so that you can be fed, but then they end up convincing you and kind of hypnotizing you into just coming back.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of the weird thing of like McDonald's has already done the corrupt thing and like instead of giving people good food, they just give food that will keep them there and then they don't care how bad the food is.
Yeah.
Whereas like the information you give them on like a Twitch stream or something, it's like at first it would be good information, like educational.
Yeah.
But eventually it just matters that it keeps them there. So you don't have to keep giving them good information. You just have to keep giving them information.
But isn't that up to you to decide if that's how you want to go about it?
Yeah.
Like,
but everyone can be corrupted.
yeah.
Like nobody's free from that.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
But it's almost the test or an exercise that you can do to put yourself in situations where you can be corrupted rather than just hiding from any potential situations where you could be corrupted. Because it's almost like you're not any better not being corrupted and just hiding from the corruption in the first place. And what really makes someone like trustworthy and good is when they have the opportunity to be corrupted and they resist it. So that could be a good exercise. I mean,
that's true. Like that is a way to like prove that you're trustworthy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's almost like better to believe that you aren't 100% trustworthy.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not good to like avoid like corruption and stuff like that. Or like it's I don't know, I guess there's like kind of a balance of like avoiding it because you're scared of it and knowing to avoid it because you're not infallible.
Yeah.
And it's like you could fall into the trap of just giving people crap information.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing like if you're an alcoholic, do you want to go out to the bar with your friends and just decide to not get drinks? Do you trust yourself to do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Or like alcoholics don't just get one drink because they know if they get one drink, there's a decent chance they'll get another. It's
yes.
Even if you're like if you've been not like you haven't been an alcoholic for years, like it's better to just not like give yourself like the obvious like extreme risk.
Yeah. You know? But there are I guess those are people who are particularly susceptible to drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And I guess if you don't think of yourself as particularly susceptible to being corrupted,
I think I am.
I
think most people are. But.
Yeah. No, like most people are, but like imagine a situation where you have everything you need. Like maybe the stream gets, a couple thousand viewers and you're making like 60, 70K a year. Do you think you're the type to decide I need even more and try to get more people? Because I feel like no, like
it's hard to say. I mean, it really depends on like why you do it.
Yeah.
Like at first, maybe you do it for the money, but once you get enough money, you either stop or you keep doing it for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's like if the reason is because you enjoy, it's like you could do it because you've made friends that are like your like high ranking like moderators or whatever.
Yeah.
And you just do it because you love like hanging out with them.
Yeah.
That's fine. But if you do it for even just like the reward of having people to watch the stream, what if the people start requesting some more like trendy TikToks or something, and you gradually fall into like slightly lower quality stuff, and you realize more people are watching. It's like as long as your intentions aren't completely pure, you'll get corrupted by just little nudges in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That it does always make me wonder, like, what are the really rich people doing? Like, why do they do these things that end up like really hurting a lot of like either the environment or individuals? And they're already like wealthy beyond imagination. Like I just can't imagine like what they're thinking and why they're working day in and day out
to
do bad things. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I guess I haven't been in that situation.
No, yeah, I think part of it's probably that they don't realize how bad it is.
Yeah, I can't imagine they do.
Yeah.
But it just seems ridiculous to be working so hard to do bad things. Like, I feel like if I got anywhere near that level, I wouldn't necessarily be at risk of being really corrupt and evil. I would be at risk of, like, being lazy and not doing good stuff with it.
Right.
But I don't think I would be doing really evil. Like, why would I waste my time? I don't know. I just can't imagine it.
Yeah, I think it might be kind of like the mass hysteria or mass psychosis thing, where like it's like the rich people aren't any more free than the poor people.
Yeah,
they're still just like it's almost like they're rich because they're like they've been tricked into continuing to try to be rich or something.
That's one way. It also makes me wonder, what is it that they know? That we aren't aware of.
Yeah, I guess it's a different way of stating it. Almost.
Yeah.
It's like I'm saying the thing they know is something psychotic.
Yeah,
that isn't real.
Yeah,
but
something psychotic isn't real.
But it could be they know something.
There
real.
could be something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I just can't imagine doing it. But that's why I kind of maybe have the romantic idea that like you could potentially have a stream with just a couple thousand people and like no real need to grow it more or like get pushed into the trends. Because I feel like with the hierarchy of needs, that pyramid, once you have all the food taken care of and like it takes like a decent amount of money just to get the bottom two or whatever, like shelter and all that taken care of. And after that, you get more on the path of self-actualizing. And it seems like it would be going the opposite way to be corrupt and to just chase after the bottom ones more. Like you get even more good food because you have more money and followers. Like, it seems like the opposite. Yeah,
but this sort of it's kind of a big assumption to assume you follow the hierarchy of needs. Like I don't know exactly what it is, but it could also be a hierarchy of like desires of like once people get all the food they need, they start desiring social gratification and stuff.
Yeah, there is. That is on the hierarchy of needs. They need like self-esteem and the respect of peers and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it
could be like you just chase after those and realize,
and they get stuck.
There's always more to get.
Yeah, and they never move past. I think it's possible to move past it though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying like the Twitch stream never works. Obviously it does.
Yeah.
But
because there's people like Elon Musk who
I'm pessimistic, so I'm scared of it.
Yeah. There's people who like Elon Musk who aren't like completely immune to, if someone pokes at Elon Musk and says he's a bad guy, then he might poke back. But seems to be more so ignoring, like, just trying to chase clout, and the main missions, at least, are to do something that would help humanity and, like, actually bring them to a place or bring us to a place where we could survive a huge catastrophe and that kind of stuff.
Right.
That seems like a good self-actualizing mission.
I don't know what that means, but yeah. I agree that, like, he has very, like, pure intentions. Right?
Yeah.
What is self-actualizing?
Self-actualizing, yeah. That's like the one that I guess you haven't seen. Did you ever take a psychology class?
I did in college.
Okay.
They didn't talk about it.
No, I took it in high school and they showed us there. But the pyramid at the very top is self-actualization.
Because just hearing it sounds very like
okay, yeah.
Like a woo-woo motivation.
Damn, I feel like I've been saying this like many times.
We just haven't talked about it.
And you've never. I thought you knew what it was.
I can kind of infer, but like I feel like in this context it seems more important to.
Yeah, no, okay. I always assumed it was like a well-known. Damn. Okay, I've been saying it to a lot of people.
We're in different parts of the internet.
Yeah. No, mine was just like. I guess the only place I've ever seen it was that psych class. But it's basically the one at the very top of the pyramid where you discover more abstract reasons for being happy. Like, at the very bottom, you're happy because you have food, and that makes you happy. Then you're happy because you have shelter. Then you're happy because you have self-esteem and love. And there's other stuff like on the way. But at the very top is self-actualization, which is when all of your other needs are met. Then you have the most high need, which is like the least necessary for survival, but is where everything eventually leads to, of wanting to figure out, just generally, I guess it boils down to what's important to you.
Yeah, and sort of like the reason that you would make art is for
the reason. Yes, exactly that. Or why you would just go around building wells in Africa is because helping people is your self-actualization.
Interesting.
Yeah, not that you would do it for the clout. Like, that could be another reason that people do the same thing. But if you have all of that already and you decide to do, like, to step away from clout almost and just go to South Africa and do it, like, as a worker.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
So it's almost a different way, or it's less of that you, like, get enough food to not need food anymore. And it's almost like like you get into a situation where you can forget about food.
Yeah.
And like the social esteem and
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, it's less of like you satisfy the needs and more just like assuming you've satisfied the need,
Yeah.
you stop caring about it and then focus on
Yeah.
the next thing up. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Then like if you can just like forget about all the other things, you can just
Yeah.
make art and like do the things that are important,
Mm-hmm.
like just to you personally.
Yeah.
Then yeah,
Because that's at least like
Yeah, I think-
the basis that I operate under, just having learned about that. Like I assume it makes a lot of sense that would be true.
yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Like the thing is like a lot of stuff like that is like almost necessarily true if you interpret it the right way.
Yeah.
But if you interpret it the wrong way, it can be kind of misleading.
Yeah.
Because I think the issue is that like people get caught in like the lower levels
Mm-hmm.
of like always thinking, or like people going to like build wells in Africa. It's hard to say if they're doing it out of like an artistic, like fully personal thing,
Yeah.
or if they're doing it because they like the smiling faces of the African people when they have water.
Yeah.
And it's like that's in a lot of ways is still just like a social, like gratification type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a very like, it seems very treacherous to assume it's like as simple as like, you think I have enough of this, so I must be doing things for self-actualization. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No. I agree with that. Like people
Yeah.
could definitely get stuck along the way,
Mhm.
and it's even
And not realize it.
and not realize it, and it's even possible that if you are at the self-actualization place,
Mhm.
it's not guaranteed that what you're doing is good.
Yeah.
Because maybe your self-actualization is looking at the corpses of your victims strewn around, like, you know, it could be an evil thing, and maybe that's what the rich people are doing. Like, they have everything else they need, and then they're just thinking, "How can I get to the top of this game?"
Yeah.
And
How can I destroy those?
yeah, get to be the number one dog in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think with kind of connecting it back to like things I've thought of that are kind of like a similar idea as self-actualization. Like
yeah,
I sort of want to believe that if you do just do things like in like a almost like an enlightened like personal way, you're less likely to do evil things because like it seems like most of the evil things are like a subset of the other needs of like people like murdering each other or like
yeah,
doing that because they're scared or because they like want the social gratification of like being better than this person or like
yeah,
or like some like a yeah I don't know but like not like a it doesn't seem like the self-actualization would really include things that are like at the expense of someone else almost
hmm
because it seems like the things at the expense of someone else are like ways to gain things.
yeah,
It's like if you don't need to gain anything then it seems like you'd be less likely to do like things that we see as evil at least.
yeah. I'm trying to think of. I mean, maybe there are examples of if someone's trying to self-actualize. Like, I believe that would extend to collecting useless things like stamps. And you could potentially, to self-actualize, steal stamps from other stamp collectors to make your collection big. And you really take pride in, oh, my stamp collection is great.
Right.
And that would be a situation where you could be taking stuff from other people to try to self-actualize.
Yeah. But I guess the thing is like it seems like you wouldn't knowingly do something evil maybe. Of like the person stealing stamps could just be doing it as a game and knowing stealing stamps doesn't harm anyone that much.
Yeah.
But I feel like it wouldn't be self-actualization anymore if you're like knowing that you're a bad person almost. Like a bad person by your own standards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, by your own standards, I think, is key. And that's why
Yeah.
it becomes very slippery to where I think the
Yeah.
rich people could do stuff like
Right.
imprison the whole world. It's for their own good.
Yeah, or if you're
you
like
know?
a psychopath, you could just kill
Yeah.
people and think it's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of subjective, like what's good and bad in that sense.
Yeah.
And so I think bad things could be done.
Yeah. But like, the things that other people think are bad, but things that you don't think are bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff.
Well, we'll never be free from corruption.
No, not from. I mean, we're all in the same sense. We're always free from corruption because we never think we're doing anything
yeah.
corrupt.
Yeah. But
That's a good way. Yeah.
that's interesting.
11 seconds, 9 seconds left. So
Conclusion, I won't do a YouTube channel because I'm too afraid.
yeah, we'll see what happens with Louis' YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye.
Yeah, thanks for watching.